Hey guys, Susie here. Thanks for tuning in today. Today I'm doing a Real Talk series video for you guys, and I'm just having some of this Lipton citrus green tea because I am thirsty and I need some tea in my life. Ouch. This bottle just stabbed me. It almost made me bleed. Anyways, I just finished putting on my makeup, finished getting ready. I'm about to go do my laundry, and I kind of overdid it with some glittery blue eyeshadow. It was NYX, and it was all over my face. It was a mess. It was all over the bathroom. It was nuts. But anywho, I'm going to do a real talk series video for you guys today because I haven't done one in a while. And a lot of you guys have been sending me some requests and things via Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And this is one that you guys requested, was growing up and growing out of your friends and just growing up in general and like your friend circle changing. So I'm really not sure what to really call this video. I guess I'm going to call it like growing up out of your friends. I have had so much experience with this that I don't even know what to do with myself. There comes a point in everybody's life, I think, where you kind of grow up and a lot of people in your social circle don't grow up, and you kind of end up separating yourself. You know, you don't really talk to them as much anymore. Sometimes you catch back up with each other and sometimes you don't. But it kind of comes a time in your life. For me, frankly, I think that time was all during my 20s. Like from 20 to, I'm going to be 30 this year. That whole time was kind of a transition period for me, or a time of like growing, a time of growing up out of things, growing up out of like different habits and behaviors and things. And, you know, every year I feel like I get a little bit older. I feel like every year, you know, I think differently than I did the year before. And it's not just about age, it's about behavior, it's about, you know, how I act socially, just a lot of things. It's not just age, it's, you know, growing up out of things. You know, my 20s was definitely like a decade of learning experiences for me, and you continue to grow and like learn throughout your whole life. But for me, the 20s was just a time of like making bad choices, making choices that were questionable, you know, just a lot of things. And I had a lot of growing financially to do as well, because I went through a lot of hard times where I was unemployed, a lot of hard times where I couldn't find work, I was laid off, working different kinds of jobs. I mean, I worked anywhere from a gas station to pizza shops, to a sandwich shop, to grocery stores, to offices, to accounting type jobs. I mean, I worked every kind of, I was a hostess at Shoney's. I worked every kind of job possible other than like a factory job, I think, or like construction or some kind of physical labor job. And so a lot of that time for me was spent like learning what I wanted to do with myself. I was going to college. I dropped out of college. Now I'm going back to college. Well, I'm finishing my associate's degree, so I'm going to be going back to college again. So yeah, it's been definitely a big learning experience for me. But one of the biggest things that happened in my 20s was that I had to learn to let a lot of people go. A lot of people that I was friends with when I was a teenager, a lot of people that I knew since my childhood, when I moved here from Chicago, and I had to let a lot of those people go. The older I got, the less I had in common with them, the more different that we were, and it's very normal. It's not like it makes them a bad person, it doesn't make you a bad person. People just grow up. People grow up and out of things. They're not the same person they were anymore. Let me give you guys a little example of a friendship that I had that kind of changed. I'm not going to say this person's name because I don't want to, you know, tell my business like that to everybody, or to say anybody's name or anything, but there was a girl that I was really good friends with. We grew up, we were really, really good friends. You know, ever since I met her, I felt like we kind of had like a friendship thing going on. We did everything together. I mean, we talked on the phone all the time. We wrote notes. We went to school together. We, you know, we were just like the bestest of friends. And, you know, when she had went away to college, you know, it's like she really changed a lot in college. I felt like she was really into the whole party scene. And I, at the same time, I dropped out of college after a year, and I had to have a full-time job because I was like trying to live at my boyfriend's house with him and his dad. I was trying to, you know, pay for my car, pay for my insurance, pay for my bills, and she was just kind of like, party! And I was like, okay, I have like no money. I need money for this, I need money for that. And so because I chose to leave school, I had to get a full-time job and work full-time. And so I started looking for jobs. I worked several different jobs, and she was just like, party, party, party. And she would call me in the middle of the night. I mean, she would call me at like 3, 4 a.m., you know, drunk off her ass, and I had to be at work like in 3 or 4 hours, and I was like not answering my phone, and she'd be mad, and it was just a serious bit of drama. And so, you know, after a little while, I kind of just like stopped talking to her because I felt like every time I did see her in person, she just wasn't that same person anymore. She was like always thinking about going out places. I want to go out here tonight. I want to go out here. And I couldn't do that stuff. I was trying to have a job. I was trying to, you know, focus on things. And at the same time, I had a serious relationship. I've known my husband since I was 18. So I was in a serious relationship with him for forever. You know, I couldn't just go out, you know, slutting around town. Not to say that she was, because she wasn't, but, you know, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't be out all night doing whatever. And so, you know, that was kind of the beginning, I think. And I didn't talk to her for a little while. And then we kind of met up later on down the road, like, you know, when she was out of college. She had actually, I think, dropped out of college too. And she was at, you know, school for a little while, but she had dropped out and just pretty much, I don't really know what she was doing with her life, but she wasn't in school anymore. And so we met up and we tried to hang out, and even though it was fun, like it seemed kind of like old times, it wasn't like old times. It wasn't like that. She was different. She was a different person, and I was a different person, and I was more, I guess, like focused on what I was doing with my life right then. She was focused on other things. And that's not to say that she was a bad person, because she wasn't. She just had different focuses at that time in her life than I had. And so after that, I just felt like I didn't really know her anymore. Like I did know her, but I didn't really know her. And she wasn't that same person. It seemed like everything that we used to do wasn't fun to her anymore. And everything she did now wasn't fun to me. And so I just kind of like let it drift off, and I, you know, just didn't really talk to her very much anymore. And eventually, you know, she didn't really talk to me. I just said, well, I don't really, you know, need to be friends with her on social media. Then she got mad, and anyways, it's beyond the point of that. I'm not even going to go further into it. But basically, long story short, people change, you know, especially in their 20s. You're becoming an adult. You're becoming, you know, a responsible person, a responsible adult, and you're taking care of bills, you're taking care of kids, you're getting married, you're doing all kinds of things. People change, things change, situations change, and, you know, and you're just not the same people anymore. So it's totally normal. It's not like it's a bad thing. You're not a bad person because you don't hang out with the same group anymore. It doesn't make you a bad person, but I'll tell you guys this, it's very, very rare. I mean, very, 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 very rare that you find a person that is truly a best friend. Someone that, you guys have known each other forever and you've always been there, always through thick and thin, through everything, through every issue. You guys have got through it. You've been the bestest of friends. You're always there for each other. And you don't find that very often at all. You rarely find that. Some people are lucky if they find one person like that in their whole life. I haven't found a person like that. Some people have. I haven't. I've never found that person. And so me, actually, just by nature, I'm an only child. I've always been alone. I've always been a kind of a bit of a loner. I mean, I always had like a group of friends, but I always kind of felt more comfortable, I guess, being alone. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense. And you guys may not think I am because, I'm a very social person. I love talking to people. I love getting out. But at the same time, there's that part of me that just kind of likes to keep to myself because that's just who I am. That's what I've always done. And so I think that's kind of just my opinion of it, is basically, you're gonna grow up in your life, especially if you're in your 20s. You've got a lot of growing to do. You're gonna get married, you're gonna have kids, things are gonna change in your life. And you're gonna go on with your life, and other people can go on with theirs. And no one should ever be mad at you for changing as a person to better yourself. It's not that you're changing, as a person, like you become snotty, you become a bad person. But a lot of times people just grow up, and it's just a part of life. It's just how it is, and they're just not the same people anymore. And you shouldn't look down on people because of that, and people shouldn't look down on you. And basically that's kind of my take on it. And the best way to kind of just get over that, if you feel like a lot of people, you've grown up, you're not around those people anymore, find people that have the same interests as you now. Maybe joining a gym or going to some kind of art class or something. Find people that have things in common with you now in this point in your life. Not everybody. There's like that saying that says, some people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And it's totally true. There's going to be people in your life that are there for your whole life. Some people that are there for a certain reason. Some people that are there just for that specific amount of time that they need to be in your life to help you think in a certain way or act a certain way, or just for some kind of reason for them to be in your life for that period of time. And that's just part of life. That's how it is. So that's kind of my take on it. How do you guys feel about it? Have you ever had an experience where you grew up and grew out of like friendships, and how did you get over it? How did you get over it and find new friends? Or what did you do about it? What are your opinions of it? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to know what you guys think. And I hope you enjoyed this Real Talk series video. If you've got some requests for future Real Talk series videos or other videos, please just leave them down below and I'll do my best to get to them. So I'll catch you guys in my next video. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye!